the chef.
Today guys, we're going to cook one of my favorite recipes when I speak about dessert. I mean, I could say dessert, but you can eat at any time. It's muffins. But I do have a concern in terms of what put in there. I don't want to be unhealthy or too fattening. Okay,
so today's muffin is a more traditional muffin, not the ones you're going to get in the shops, which are full of butter and sometimes hydrogenated fats, really bad things. What we've got today is the simple, easy muffin, and the ingredients are very healthy. The only fat that we've got going in here is we've got 1 egg and 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. The rest of the ingredients are super healthy. We've got some sugar in there, but they're a sweet thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to make these quickly, then we're going to taste them, and I might explain a bit about where I learned to make them and a bit more about muffins.
Yes, another thing I discovered that I can swap this flour for a gluten-free flour, so if you have gluten problems or, you know, wheat, and also can be egg-free.
Yeah, we can take out the egg and we can make this a vegan muffin. And that's all we need to know really, so let's get started.
Yes, delicious. And other thing that when I looked at the recipe today, we have banana in the recipe, and I love that idea.
Yeah.
Great.
The banana, whilst it gives it flavour, what it also does is if you don't use the egg, the banana helps to give it some more body and kind of hold it together a little bit.
Wonderful.
So, should we do it?
Yes, I'm going to make it.
Yep.
Another thing, just for the record, I am rubbish at making and baking. Full stop. I can bake from a box, you know, buy that cake from a box. That's the only one I can do. I've never been able to do any muffins or cakes from scratch.
Baking is all about confidence. There's no secrets to it. There's no hot hands, cold hands. Those things may make a difference, but the secret is confidence, knowing what you're doing and being confident in doing the right thing and doing it once and over again. So I think we should just get started.
Yes, I'm very confident today.
Okay. Brilliant. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all of our dry ingredients and we're going to put them into this bowl.
Dry ingredients, okay. You have 2 flours here. I have
normal plain flour, wholemeal flour.
Good.
1 cup of each.
Okay.
A cup of sugar.
Just put it there.
Yeah, just put everything in at the moment. A cup of sugar. Now you can use the healthiest sugar you like. You can use caster, demerara. You can use organic, anything. We were thinking about trying it with coconut sugar, but maybe for another day. And now you need to add these in. So we've got baking powder.
Okay.
1.5 teaspoons. Bicarbonate of soda, 1 teaspoon. And a teaspoon of my great auntie's homemade, homegrown, home-milled cinnamon powder.
Oh my gosh.
She grew this in her own garden and she made it all herself.
In
and she's
Brazil.
in her 90s. I should mention that's in Brazil, not in Derby or somewhere.
Could we make that? I mean, I wouldn't be able to grow here cinnamon, but I could
yes,
buy the cinnamon and
you
it would be
can
even
definitely
better.
grind your own spices in this country. I'm going to give you a whisk there just to mix that up really, really well.
Okay.
That's now mixed up.
Okay.
So the only thing we need now is our banana.
Yes, we have over there, chef. And meanwhile, just wanted to say and ask the chef what's the difference between the bicarbonate of soda and the baking powder. I do make a bit of a confusion.
Okay, so baking powder is a all-in-one raising agent. So what it's going to do, it has an acid and an alkali, which is basically a bicarbonate of soda.
Yes.
When you put liquid into that, try it at home, pour some water onto baking powder, it's going to fizz up. And what that does is, while it's in the oven, it fizzes up, it creates carbon dioxide, bubbles of the gas, and that creates the lightness, it creates the froth inside whatever you're doing, and then the flour and your eggs and whatever, they set and they hold those bubbles, they harden the bubbles.
Okay.
So all your gas is held inside those little bubbles, and that's what rises a cake and bread and gives it the body. So that's your baking powder. And bicarbonate of soda does the same thing, but only when you add acid to it. So that's why you use orange juice in this recipe, or in soda bread, for example, you use buttermilk, which is acid.
Okay.
So, then what we're going to do is, Fabi, if you can take your wet ingredients. So you crack your egg into there.
Okay.
Put your oil into there. I'm going to mash this banana. Just mash the banana with a fork. You don't need to use any machine.
Just mix it like this.
Yep, you put your oil in there as well. We're going to do it all at once.
Okay.
That's it. As soon as that's mixed, we're going to whack our banana in there.
Oh, I love that, the banana in there. In the
Okay.
mixture.
Okay, now that's ready. Now comes the serious part, and I mean serious. There is a rule to making muffins, and I was taught this when I learned to make muffins. I went to Boston, and I did some baking when I was there, so this is the original American recipe. Stop!
My confidence just gone!
No, I'm only kidding, but we don't want to whisk it too much, just because we don't need to. So now the trick is, what we're going to do is we're going to put all our ingredients in together,
Okay.
and you're going to turn it over no more than 9 times, okay? So you put the wet ingredients in, just pour it in, straight in, go on.
Okay.
Confidence.
Confidence. I know what I'm doing.
I'm going to chuck those in there, and now turn it over no
One.
more than 9 times.
I'm turning over right, is that the way?
Yeah,
Two.
all into the middle.
Oh my god.
3, 4,
Oh my gosh. How can
Five.
this work?
6, 7, 8 is enough. Fabi's done it in 8. So what I need to explain here
Oh my
is
gosh.
that if you can see that there, it looks like it's not all mixed in. That's
Yes.
fine. Yeah, that's fine. That'll mix in when you cook it. If you mix it more than this, you're going to start to develop the gluten in the flour, and that's going to make your muffins tough. So that's going to make them like almost more like a bread than a cake. So the less you mix them, the better it is. Then what you need to do,
See?
take a large spoonful.
Nobody ever told me that. Once I tried to do muffin and it was hard rock and didn't raise at all and taste like cardboard box.
Yeah,
I mean,
most
I don't
people-
eat cardboard box, but it did taste. Oh my gosh.
So one thing that is also good to mention is that we've used frozen blueberries here. Now the reason you freeze the blueberries is because the blueberries will burst in the mix if you don't freeze them. So when they start to heat up, they're going to burst. But if the mix around them is nice and hot and already starting to set, then even though they burst, they're going to burst into their own little space and they won't spread throughout the muffins. So freeze your blueberries and you'll get a much better experience. If you don't freeze your blueberries, you're going to get purple muffins with blueberries all spread through them, and they're just not going to be that good. So we're going to split that mix, and as you put it into the molds, you mix it up a tiny bit more. So even then we can see there's barely any flour showing, and that's going to be fine anyway. So here we've got our 12 muffins. Let me pop that in the sink.
Ooh,
and now Fabi, for that
yes.
extra special professional touch, I'm going to sprinkle some demerara sugar over the top.
Do I have to make a mess to be very chefy?
No, you don't have to give it all this, or especially not any of this. So just do it from a bit lower down, and that way, normally with salt, you want to do it from very high.
Okay,
But with this
exactly.
sugar, yeah, we're going to do
Should
it
we
from
leave
low,
half of
so
it
we're very
without
active.
sugar?
Let's do it, let's try it.
Yeah?
Plenty, don't be shy with this, because what this is going to
good.
do is create a lovely crust on top.
Ah, I see.
The absolute best sugar for this is confectioner's jam making sugar, because it's really big pieces and it gives you a really nice crunch when it comes out of the oven. But demerara is fine, because that's what we used in the mix. You don't need to be buying 10 different types of sugar just to make a muffin. As you can see, this is supposed to be an easy dish to make. It's an easy introduction into baking.
It is, and it's quite quick. It doesn't take long.
I wasn't watching, but it's a matter of minutes.
I'm so excited. Now we're going to put it in the oven, okay? And I will show you what it looks like. There we go.
So our oven is at 180 degrees. That's a fan assisted oven. We're going to put those in. They're going to need about 15 minutes, maybe more. And what we'll do is I'll check them when they're nearly done, and I'll show you how to check them to see if they're done. And then when they're done, we'll take them out of the oven, then we're going to eat them. And then that's basically it.
Go.
So we're about 12 minutes into the cooking, and I'm just going to check these muffins. As you can see, they've risen nicely, but they still feel a bit soft. So what we're going to do is turn down that oven a bit and give those another 5 minutes, because this is obviously a very hot oven. It's my first time using it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to leave those for 5 more minutes, come back, check them, and hopefully they'll be cooked. Right, So these muffins have had about another 5 minutes, slightly lower temperature. So let's take them out, give them a press on top, and I can feel that they're nice and springy now. So that means they're cooked. So what we're going to do is just leave them on the side for a couple of minutes because they're too hot to handle at the moment, and then we're going to unmold them, and then we're going to eat them.
Rolling. It smells incredible, chef.
It should do. All the stuff that's gone in here is good stuff.
The kids will love this.
They will. So these are still pretty hot. You might want to wait for 10 minutes or so.
I can't wait 10 minutes.
Okay, you go for it then. But be careful, the blueberries in here are going to be so hot.
Yes,
that you
that's
might
what is hot
need a trip
here.
to A&E.
It is muffin!
World's most dangerous muffins.
Oh my god, they're crunchy.
That's the demerara sugar that we put on top.
Oh my lord, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Guys, this is amazing. You need to try this. Not you need to try. You need to make this.
One little thing is if your paper sticks, that's just because they're red hot. As they cool down, the paper will unstick and these will hold together a lot better.
Yeah.
At the moment, they're falling apart a bit because the blueberries are still red hot. But as you can see there, we've got a nice golden brown muffin full of blueberries, and you can see the steam coming off there.
Oh.
Break that open and you can see that it's really delicate, and that's because we didn't overmix it. So, cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah,
For more recipes, guys, subscribe to our channel. We'll be giving more tips and recipes even better every week.
And if you manage to hit that like button as well, we'll be really happy. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.